Hi, Michelle Ray here with my dear friend Nina Roberts-Selveson, and we are here to talk to you a bit about what we are seeing is trending in our own experience, in our own meditations with our clients, in our guidance that comes to us. And we're here in December 2020 and want to talk a little bit about the conjunction of a number of current events and the tools and processes we are finding very useful as we navigate this time on the planet.
Yeah, and welcome. And it's so good to share this time with you. The month of December, it probably goes without saying, has packed a real punch energetically, of course, with the eclipse leading up to and supporting the final election and the announcement of the final outcome of the election in the United States, and in preparation for the winter solstice on December 21st, also marking not only the longest day of darkness, but also a conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter merging for the first time in over 800 years, an event that has not occurred since the year 1226. And the significance of these lunar and solar events, some of which we're not going to talk about because this isn't a program intended to, or a discussion about the astrological events per se, but do know that in the biggest and grandest picture, these energies are supporting further transformation, awakening, and clearing the way for greater potential for what we all individually and collectively choose to commit to creating and co-creating in 2021.
So we have a number of different things occurring, including the vaccines being released during the same space and time. So there's also seems to be a phenomenal amount of misinformation on multiple fronts. And one of the things we are finding for ourselves, as well as we're discussing with our students and clients, is the power of our own inner discernment. And I know for me, physically, if I am engaged in listening to something or considering something or contemplating my next step, my action in the world, if I feel a constriction, if I feel a punch in the gut, if I feel tight in my jaw, like my body tells me, take a second look, consider the validation of this. And there are other times when something hits me and it just opens me up in my heart space, let's say, and it feels expansive. And it's a way that I can use to discern. I'm going to check that out. That seems to resonate with me. It seems to be coherent with some level of truth. And yes, I continue to learn and investigate. But I want to be really careful also about when I notice that I defer and give my power away to somebody else making a decision on my behalf, to not paying attention if I feel like I'm being manipulated. So this idea of living at a high level of present moment awareness, really paying attention to what's happening in my thoughts, in my emotions, in my body, energetically, from the guidance, however you get guidance, from your higher self, from a larger picture of how things are interrelated and interconnected. But these are literal tools that I am really bringing to the forefront, making a little more time every day for some stillness, making a little more spaciousness, not going from one distracted, busy thing to the next. So Nina, I know you too have a number of different tools that you utilize and that you work with your clients on. If you're willing to share some, that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And so these times that we are entering as we near the completion of 2020 and into the brand new year of 2021, know that we can continue to expect to see further deconstruction of old paradigms. And in the theme of discernment, there is a fine art and a practice to the developing and the deepening of that discernment, which is very closely related to the intuitive capacity that we all have. And however, the art of discernment requires that we find and allow for ourselves a spaciousness of quiet and stillness so that we can disengage from the constant influx of information that's coming at us. And rather than relying solely on that information that's coming at us constantly, how can we step away from that, disengage from that, and rather than let that information source uh, dictate and drive our choices and our decision making? The best the best approach that I have found that for me, as Michelle has mentioned, is to take us time to step away, to go into stillness. For me, I love my time in the natural world because I feel that it energetically realigns me. It helps me breathe. It helps me clear my mind, and it helps me reconnect to that inner source of that deeper space inside of me that allows me to check in with myself, to check in with my body. I frequently ask my body, what is right? What is best for me? What do you body need? So I will personally use muscle testing or energetic testing, but the art of discernment is also very closely correlated to the intuitive ability of using whatever practices you have, whether you practice breath work or meditation or yoga or time in nature, so that you can keep your energy, your body vessel clear. And so I frequently will do a meditation that, I check in with my chakras. Are my energy chakras open? And if I'm feeling myself becoming irritable, agitated, judgmental, critical with myself or with people around me, I know that's my cue. My body is telling me, step away. And I've had those experiences with the announcement of the unrolling of the vaccinations. And I've had my moments where my body has said, step away, check in with yourself, get still, allow that deeper discernment. Don't take anything at face value, and know that the truth resides somewhere in that mix of information, right, wrong, good, bad, truthful or not truthful. But the answer resides within my knowing, within my body's knowing. So I will continue to develop my trust in my body's wisdom to tell me what I will ultimately choose or not choose with regard to what I do with this body with regard to the vaccinations and with other choices as well. So as we near the end of 2020, we really encourage you and each of us to allow time and spaciousness to be still, to be quiet, to allow those practices that can really support the refinement or the development and the appreciation of discernment. I know for me, because I, frequently work through my body, my body will give me a very strong signal of what is right, what is not right, what is true, what is not true, what is real, what is not real for me and my body. If I get a no and I get a warning signal from my body, it usually reveals itself in the same dull ache in my chest and solar blade. And if it's a yes, I will feel a warmth expanding in my heart space and in my solar plexus. But I wasn't always aware of this. It was something that started to evolve with time and allowing more spaciousness to just be still, to allow the stillness of presence. And so for me, energetically, the use of breath work without any expectation around how that breath flows, without the expectation that my breath is going to guide me into a deep state of meditation, but just using my breath and practicing deep breathing frequently will automatically, for every human, will change our brain state and change our energetic state to help us come back to harmony and balance. And it's back to that theme that Michelle and I frequently discuss and teach in Being Human, the theme of coherence, self-regulation, and reestablishing coherence, that alignment in body, mind, and spirit, in self, in knowing, and in that congruence of the connection in the gut, the heart, and the mind, and the whole body.
So we wish you well this December in your own discernment, recognizing reactivity and judgment, and being able to find our breath, use our practice, come back to center. And we hope that you stay engaged with Nina and I through our Being Human Life programming. We have a number of opportunities to connect into our community, from deep dive 8-week courses to a couple hours of our trending discussions that are coming up in 2021, as well as our monthly conversations in the upper room to engage with other like-minded beings who are also navigating through this amazing time and seeing it through us as spirit having a human experience. So we look forward to connecting with you again soon. Thanks for being with us today.
Blessings and love.